And hello everybody, and welcome back to the Refresh Point. My name is Ben, and as always I'm joined by my constant co-host Steve. Steve, how's it going?
Doing good. We've definitely hit the peak summer. It's starting to get very hot here in Texas. And so we're trying to avoid that as best we can by staying inside and playing some Weiss Schwarz.
We love Weiss Schwarz. It's a great time. And we've got some updates on the ambitious decks that we've been working on. One of the Revue Starlight deck builders from the Revue Starlight deck building Discord server won BSF France. Woo! And I just got back from a close but not quite run at BSF Rosemont with Guilty Gear. Strive! After you shuffle your decks, tap or cut, and we'll get right into the refresh point with some breaking news. Woohoo! Revue Starlight, let's go! Yay! Revue! It's such a funny list, man. It's truly the most Revue Starlight deck building Discord server list of all time. Like, yeah. 4 or 5 one of zeros and one of camera event. He played it twice, I think, in that entire event. But yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, Revue.
Yeah, I mean, the important part of the team's format is making sure that your team is well balanced.
He went 5-1.
Yeah, by well balanced I mean decks with solid game plans and
True.
Decks with psychotic game plans to keep things kind of, balanced out.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So this guy, his team is a deck with a 9-card hand that never needs it.
Right.
A deck that is all standbys.
Yep.
And Revue Starlight.
Choice pants, baby. Because burn 1 4 times surely will get the job done. Alongside an extra burn 3 on reverse.
I'd like to clarify that this is by far my favorite of the Revue Starlight level 3 games. But there's just a lot to swallow here. But we'll get into it whenever we get to the spike corner.
Yeah. BSF Rosemont also happened. Congrats over there, everybody that had fun, everybody that said hello. Shoutouts to, I'm like 90% sure your name was Ender. If I'm wrong, shame on me. Shoutouts to Leanne, who was also from the Revue deck building server that was also there. And we fought each other both in the single elim like side event the day before the Weiss tournament, and then immediately round 1 at the actual teams event in the same slot. Just deeply funny. Sorry, you were playing 8-bar layer. I was playing Eno. It didn't go really well for you. I won the actual BSF game from like 2-4. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was good to meet you. Your standby win deck is cool. But yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're getting it sucks to have to, play somebody that someone you like. It's like
I just met them that day.
Yeah, only one of you can win, so you just gotta get in there and do it.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
We got Miku, and I'm not talking about Quint. It's Hatsune Miku. We got Project Sekai number 1. It's a set of all time. It has Hatsune Miku in it. You get more job. Like, I don't know.
This set will
8 a.m. at the night court. I don't remember all the group names. Like,
yeah, this set will probably go down in
Showtime Wonderland, something like that.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta be honest. My project knowledge extends to Diva F and not much further.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be another set that's very similar to when they did Grisaya in English. They released a set that doesn't matter. And if they don't release the other one, then this set is going to fall into complete obscurity. No one will know what it even looks like because it will never see tournament play. So that sucks. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully
big if true.
Hopefully
Massive
this is just hopefully this is like the prelude to a set 2 release that will bring the horrors from Sekai Set 2 into English.
Yeah, the horrors.
Few decks I hate more than that. The mono yellow abomination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
like, what if you thought your torch deck was good? Hear me out. What if the torches got torches?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Torch gets. I mean, it's not even torch though. It's camera.
It's way better. It's
okay.
It's just improved.
Okay.
It gets events. It gets itself.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
It's all one color.
Yeah.
So it avoids the free red nightmare of like having 2 good events and somehow having to get red. But yeah, that deck is omega powerful. So yeah.
Hey, in terms of JP, Gakuan Idolmaster got released, and man, we were on air complaining about the Mono Zero deck because it seemed really gross. But actually, what was really gross was going like, looking at your hand, sneezing, just going like, all right, I have 6 memory. All right, we did it. Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's one
Great
of those.
times.
It's just one of those things that doesn't. I can't comprehend it, and I probably never will for as long as I play this game. Why Bushiroad knows that it's bad for decks to be able to do something like this, and then they do it anyway, because I think they're laboring under the delusion that like people will run memory flicker cards for one matchup. But I guess if the matchup is obscene enough, then maybe you will. But most of the cards go into memory for free. So it's not like the memory flicker hurts them. It's just like a mild inconvenience to a thing that they did basically for nothing.
Like, it only really matters if they got to super block and they have like 8, 9, 10 memory because they just spammed Ramorous and your board is terrible for some reason and they just keep sending guys into memory for fun. But like the normal use case, like you get to memory them down from like 6 to 4 and then they send the helmet out so that they can brainstorm, then send the brainstorm into memory, then get the helmet, then helmet for the finisher, and then they got back to 6 memory instantly.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just doesn't make any sense to me. So we'll rapidly don't max rarity it. Don't max rarity it. Unless you want to see like cash destruction, because this thing is gonna get restricted so fast. So
no, it was gross. Like it's too funny too. I picked up the deck to borrow it to prep for the Houston BCF, because I didn't have like the JP cards I wanted to make the 8 standby Revue list in JP at the time. So I was like, it's kind of annoying, don't really want to go through all this. And then one of our locals like, hey, I'm not playing Gakuan Idolmaster, I'm playing Uma Musume, so like, you can borrow it. I'm like, hell yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know.
I picked up the deck. Like, literally the first game I played of it, I didn't even bother to read the cards. I was just sending it into somebody just to like read the cards and get used to it while just playing it, without having ever read the cards before in my life. Just like playing the deck, not even the pants version of the deck that has an extra memory card, just like 8 door. I had 6 memory at the end of the game. It doesn't even need memory. You just get it for free, and then you have like a finisher.
It's just free real estate. So
yeah.
I don't know.
It's deeply funny. It's such a restriction. The helmet that sends itself to the memory, it only gets the Ramorous, the 1 combo, either of the finishers, the Brainstormer, the pay 1 cent of memory, check 4 other copies of the helmet if you're like just pure filtering.
Yeah.
You know, all useless cards. It's a really big restriction. The Ricky, yeah, it's a massive restriction.
Why do they even bother restricting it at that point? It already,
it doesn't get your other helmet that just works, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's probably a half a dozen cards in every deck it doesn't get, but like
yeah, like 8 of them total.
But like just use your other fixing for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. My decision to never play Japanese seriously just pays off it's eternally profitable. Because, like, I know I never have to think about that deck or the stupid Hasu deck or any of this other garbage that just pervades the Japanese meta and strangles it completely to death.
Well, you're about to get strangled by that fucking Bang Dream, bro.
No, I'm going to be the strangler, bro.
Oh, okay. You're just going to hate your life in every single mirror match ever.
It's just going to be like, instead of playing the game normally, we'll just coin flip it.
Yeah, that sounds much better.
Yeah, it's way better.
Incredibly better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for now, let's actually, I'm gonna flip the script a little bit. We have it reverse ordered. Let's actually just go straight into the spy corner.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it while it's on the mind. Compote Salty from the Revue Starlight deck building server won BSF France with some homies. Now then, there was some amount of luck in the winning here, in that he didn't see any standby decks at all in his slot. His Team A slot member fought 5 Nikkei players in 7 games. Yeah, you can't see him, but Steve is like head tilted back, just eyes rolling straight into the oblivion.
The thing is that like Bochy is fucking terrible in that matchup. Like, I guess
his teammate,
I guess if you trait remove them, then they can't like they can't rest punch you, or maybe they can.
No, it's just named.
Is it fantastic?
Yeah, it's New World Modernia named.
So yeah, and your burn is on encore step, so you just get absolutely omega fucked. I don't know.
By memory counter. Yeah.
Maybe he faced a bunch of bar decks. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean. No, it looks like Modernia Biscuits. There's 3 Modernia Biscuits in the top 8.
Yeah,
there's only
of course.
15 teams.
Yeah, of course
so.
it is. Of course it is.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's just standby. Yeah. Also, though, I mean, shoutouts to France. 4-round Swiss. Powerful.
Yeah. Man. 15 teams is a bit disappointing, if I'm being honest.
It's a bit rough, buddy. But also, you're a winner, and you made it through the top 8. Got him. Lamau, kill him. For the deck choices, we see here one of the camera, which I believe he played 1 time. And everything else just kind of like, it's just chilling. We don't play Ricky. We play Mill 3 on play. If hit climax, gain 2 soul. And then pay 1, clock self, salvage a 1 or lower. Because deck speed for the Nana deck.
I hate this level 0 game. I absolutely hate it. And we have this just absolute... dead weight is like maybe a little aggressive, but this 2-1 is just something. It's like a level support, and then you discard a card to check 4 on placement for a Revue character. What?
It's deck
Is
speed.
there just no other back row that fits?
Steve? Yeah, there's 2 of the cheat card then. But like when you need deck speed right now, you just pay 1, discard for deck speed.
Jeez. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. Don't you know?
No, Ricky is wrong. It's wrong, and you're wrong for playing the game this way. It may have worked, that doesn't make it right.
He did go to. I think he did go 0-4 in the locals, like immediately before this turn.
Like, you can't play with no Ricky and expect the game to be stable at level 1. Like, I don't see it. The other thing is that
that Hikari like oversized for like 2 seconds and then you get 3 stock. That's like on reverse mill, and then if it's a 2 or higher, rest itself.
Yeah.
It apparently saved like 3 games by digging to a perfect block. Deeply funny.
Yeah.
Immensely funny.
He's got like 17 or 16 triggers where it will work. So I guess it's fine. I don't know. The more level 1s you add to this deck, and he's got 6, the worse this mechanic starts to look. We have the early play heal package, which we've talked about before. It's got like a 0 that's got to go to memory, and then when it goes to memory,
it sends the 3-2 into memory.
Yeah, and then you can like cast this thing and actually give it more than 7,000 power.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not great. It's just fine.
It's fine. It gets on direct attack stock.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The Futabas here, I assume to be some kind of
sent into memory. That's the one that goes into memory.
No, the 3-2.
That's the one that gets sent into memory by the 0. It Searcher salvages that 3-2 into memory.
Oh.
That's how that works.
I thought it put the other card into memory.
No. It puts this 3-2 Futaba into memory, and then you turn on the healer.
Oh. Ew.
Otherwise, it's a 2 or less healer that's 7k.
It's even worse somehow. All right. And then of course we have like one of the red healer in case like the game situation asks for it. We got and then stock swap, and then the 2 parts of the combo. The pants combo is it's got 2 pieces to it, and really like one of them is mandatory and the other one is fringe optional, but it's on attack you can pay 1 and give the character 4,500 power, and then the following ability whenever
on trigger burn 1 twice.
Yeah.
On trigger of a soul icon, burn 1 twice.
Right. So
your setup is you put 2 of these down, you stack all of it onto a guy that's going to trigger a soul trigger, namely the other Claudine that's going to say on reverse pay 2 ditch 2 burn 3, so that you hit him with the burn 1 4 times into 4 into 3, and hopefully that works. Yeah,
and the Claudine, which I made sound optional but really isn't, gets the ability to either draw a card or look it up to 3 from the top of the deck.
It's draw and then check 3, rearrange.
Yeah.
So it just works.
So that'll let you figure out whether the other piece of the combo, the triggering that you need, is going to work, and how many times. So we do have the classic Revue profile of look at the top of your opponent's deck, look at the top of your deck, make decisions, and then do the thing. So that's I never hate that. Gaining more information during the main phase is the most important part of any of those types of mechanics. So I'm fine with all that. The 0 game I hate, and the mid game looks really questionable. But I mean, as long as you never face any standby decks, then like you're probably just trading boards most of the game.
Yeah, and that is apparently exactly what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, from his own tournament report, round 1 fought a new player, free win, got him Lamau. Round 2 fought CSM Stocksoul Bar. Turns out you can survive the finisher pretty straightforwardly. There's max 2 of them.
Yeah.
Licorico. We leave direct attacks into the restander. Block, smile, got him. And then the round 4, end of Swiss. He actually was just that guy. He was that individual. He saw a free run player and was like, what if I simply triple canceled every turn, and I coin flipped my Hikari at the same time, and I always keep board for no reason. And then stock swap into survive the finisher. Got him Lamau.
Yep. That's how that goes.
And then Bochi, Firen, and Kali Marin is the quarters, semis, finals.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about the free run deck that got top 3 here in a second, because it's very much like a regular free run deck, except there's some parts of it that I think are kind of awkward and notable.
Okay, sure.
I like this Cali deck a lot. We're leaning in the mid game, so instead of
Kakyoin Jotaro.
Instead of burning people in the mid game with our money, this deck looks like it's gonna spam healers and possibly Botan with our extra money. So there's that. The 0 game looks pretty normal. No Kanata is wrong. It's just wrong. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to flame, but you can't play the deck this way. You're gonna have more hand than you need, and it's just wasted most of the time because you don't have Kanata. You should run Kanata. At least give yourself the option of translating your extra hand into something instead of just like having a 7-card hand all game but never being able to maintain the board. And then, Kakyoin Jotaro is actually, if he had managed to if he had just gotten into the right configuration.
It's not the burn 7. It's just 8 standby.
No, but like what I mean. Oh,
yeah.
This is the
stand itself can't be reversed Jotaro.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the fun Jotaro.
Boo. This doesn't even have the trait removed. Boo.
Really? It's Rico. Like, you sure?
I'm pretty sure I know what it looks like.
There's no name removed for sure. Oh, yeah. True.
He doesn't even have the trait remover.
He doesn't even have the trait remover.
Trait remover's goated.
We love trait remover. It's Rico. It ain't standby? We're too good for Rico?
I don't know.
My bad. Okay.
In any case, yeah, that deck's like a classic board breaker deck. If if the Revue guy had to face that deck, it would have been a real problem because
True.
like once he stands out Kakyoin, like it's never gonna move. It's gonna stay on the board the whole game. But
it's the Avdol, right? The Kakyoin's like the combo piece.
Yeah. The stand, the whatever. It's like 2,000.
No, it's not even Hierophant Green. No, he's not even running it. Yeah, it's, you stand by out, you're standing by the Avdol.
Oh, yeah, it's just power during your turn. It's not the...
That's also funny, is actually it probably still keeps board, because if you don't draw climaxes Revue, you just can't scale 7k.
Yeah.
Unless you get a healer. So if you're level 2 and you get the healer, you can scale a 7k, but,
Yeah. Is there a reason we don't run Forge of our finisher here?
No, it's not a finisher. He's just an extra standby target. He actually just... The combo is it stands itself and can't be reversed until the end of the opponent's next turn.
Oh, okay.
The actual finisher is Iggy.
Pay 2, ditch 2, burn 2.
Yes.
Sure.
On attack.
It's just like basically... We're just looking at a Mushoku Tensei deck.
Yeah. And it has two money counter.
Yeah, like not the same board building, but the same kind of finishing power. So
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, sure. He's got 2 other explosive decks as his partners, so like probably affords to play the game a little bit safer when your partners are burned 4 a bazillion times and Cali Marine. So very cool.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's fun and funky fresh. Shoutouts to Compote Salty. You did do winning. I think that is actually the first Revue top somewhere in any context of like BSF/BCS.
Yeah.
So got him Lamau. We did it. And then
you want to talk about your Rosemont experience?
Yeah, Rosemont. It was so much fun. I tried so hard. I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. If we get actually copyright struck for that clip, my bad. Cringe. But like, I was gaming, bro. I was on Eno and we were just doing the thing, man. Like, it just works. Like, as it turns out, unless you like heavy stock or memory compress, I shuffle back your waiting room into your deck. The math works out, and then you take damage. Or, if there's no reason to shuffle, I burn you too.
Yeah.
And then you take damage.
Yeah, I definitely believe that when it gets into those states where it can you refresh, it shuffles you after the refresh, like that stings, man. That deck state stings. So that's like really where shines is most people will try to force the deck out during mid-level 1, but it's like if they hit 2 and then they shuffle you, it's like you're gonna take a full level probably most of the time.
Yeah, like my one loss was into Vince, who was playing with what is it? It was like Clinton and Brandon from Ohio.
Yeah.
And like I triple blocked at 0, man. Like,
yeah,
on his stock soul combo with double Meliodas turn, I triple blocked at 0. Like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why? And then he just stock compressed into oblivion, and I lost the game. It's like there was like a window that I randomly could have scammed it, but like
it just didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and it really shouldn't have happened. So like it made sense. Like I was like, I lose the game here. Like he's stock compressed into the oblivion. I'm playing Guilty Gear Strive. I don't have stock decomp. To go through like round by round. Round 1. Shout outs to Nguyen. 8-bar layer, you did done lost. Unlucky. Like I killed you from 2-4. I don't know what to say. Smile. Round 2, I actually just thought I was gonna lose because it was Tokyo Revengers. Like I just thought like he would do the stock compress thing and then live. But what happened instead was that I blocked and got resource as well. And because he's only dual laning, like me getting resources real sick for my compression. And then I did the shuffle back thing and he ate a full level from 2 to 3. So unlucky. He had like 7, 8, 9 stock or something. Just took a full level for the god and everyone.
Yeah, I mean the reality is that like if you shuffle back 7 cards, then you become kind of vulnerable to big chunks. So.
Yeah. So shoutouts to you, TRV player. Sometimes unlucky. You definitely got. Round 4 was actually a run back into into Tyler. I'm pretty sure that's his name. One of the Canadian players that actually was my first loss at Worlds in like 2023. And he was playing SDS again, which is kind of funny. It was a very close game. He was teamed up with Nene, Roy, who's like the one Overlord player. That individual, he's just that guy. He won Rosemont last year, I'm pretty sure. Like the singles. And like, he's that. And my team got wiped. I won my game. It was incredibly close because this time I like used my counters to make sure that I didn't lose to Meliodas and like forced him to pay some stock to get back Meliodas and like think about playing the game a little bit so that I didn't get stock compressed so hard. Like into like the previous round into Vince, he had so much stock. He played triple Hendrickson and Fumio, I think. It was like triple Hendrickson stock swap. He had 6 stock left over going into the attack phase.
Yeah.
Like, help me, help.
That's like a 9 stock payout.
Help! How can I win?
Yeah, if your opponent has 15 stock, the game is probably in a difficult state.
Yeah, I noticed. And then round 5, I had a really close game just because of like some damage push that I took. Meaning that like Eno as a deck is kind of like, it's kind of a red deck in a sense of like you're spending down all of the resource that you have to push the game forward some way or another. And you need to drag your opponent into the mud with you so that, they could be level 3 with 3 stock and you could be level 3 with 3 stock but 3 stock for you means like double Eno, and 3 stock for them means like nothing.
Yeah.
And we spent 4 turns at level 3, like a rarity in Modern Vice. But also he's playing Chainsaw Man, so yeah, no finisher. Rough. And my teammates had 1 to the right of me, and I didn't see either of them win. Because I like looked at my game, I had a really hard turn, looked to my right, they're both done. They were ahead, but they were both done. And so I was like, did they get scanned, or like, does this matter? I was like, and I like stressed out for like 4 turns on like correct plays.
Yeah.
And then I won, and they're like, the guy across from me knew too. Like he had known.
Wow.
And he was like, I don't know why you're stressing, man. Your team already won. I was like, God bless.
Wow.
And then round 6, my teammate got his triple Marine quad blocked, and his opponent went from 3-2 to 3-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I recall. So we did not win that round. And so we got team wiped that round 3 when I got like Giga stock compressed on, because as it turns out, Clinton is also a good Wise player, and so is Brandon from Ohio. Well, also one of my teammates, his deck was exploding all day long.
Yeah.
So
That sucks.
that was rough. And then, yeah, round 6, I got the win into Shauna, because as it turns out, Guilty Gear Strive has a bouncer. His name is Anji. And what Anji says is, on play, pay 1, ditch 1, bounce one of your guys. And he's a level 0. And there's a helmet in the set. And so what that means, and there's door in the set. And so what that means is that every turn after I have the bouncer and I need to play the bouncer and I need to jam it into you, I will have it. Hear me out. You don't get Yuji.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
not that the deck does a tremendous amount of auto damage to begin with, but being able to open that up more easily is a nice feeling in that matchup. Some decks really can't handle that matchup at all.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the other problem is that because it's a deck that can't really be bandwagon due to the fact that the cards became really scarce really quickly. People will invariably, like, if defensive mechanics start to shift out of the meta, that deck will become randomly annoying in the Swiss. Because you'll see it and you'll be like, I don't have whatever I need to deal with this. And so it shouldn't happen as long as Nikkei is patrolling around, because you'll need the bounce to deter some of their nonsense. But in particular, like rest countering you for free. But once the meta starts to get relatively clean of defensive mechanics, and people start to relax and not run their bouncers, it can lead to some really like awful gameplay.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The rest of the Rosemont top 8.
The rest. I didn't make it the top 8.
Or all of the Rosemont
The
top...
Rosemont top 8
Yeah.
was shoutouts to that guy playing 8-bar Azure Lane on the winning team, but like everything else, pretty normal.
I'm certain that Bremerton is not bar.
Bremerton?
That's pants.
Oh yeah, it was pants. That's right, it's pants bar.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
This is actually the least.
Yeah.
This is actually the least deranged combination of mechanics to play in.
Yeah, it's
in
cats,
Azure Lane.
but with like regular combos.
Yeah.
The worst part about it is pants bar.
Yeah, and for some reason this deck has 4 fucking cron stats. I'm gonna need you to explain yourself. Why? Like, do we? I mean,
It's
I
a
know
stock payout.
I know we need experience 9, but like,
Yeah, we need
4?
experience. Yeah, we need experience 9, bro. Come on.
4? We
Yeah,
can't
dude.
find another 3 to run? We only have 1 early play healer?
Yeah, we need 6 memory. Yeah, we need 6 experience for Shinano.
Oh no, we have 4 early play healer, 4 Shinano, 4 Kronstadt, and then wait.
The on attack burn 2. Yeah, nice.
Wait, what?
That's a
Where's
stock healer.
Washington?
Huh?
Where's Washington?
The 1/1.
What in the Sam Hill? You don't play your stock swap?
Oh, what? They don't have a stock swap, huh?
Or is it Climax Get? Is Washington Climax Get?
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what you're going on about.
There's a blue 3 that...
I don't know what bro was waffling on about.
Well, in any case.
All right. Maybe you can, maybe you can get on to the deck log and filter Washington and show me what you're waffling about.
I know what it is.
All right. But in any case,
yeah, the rest of this looks
congrats.
Pretty straightforward.
You got him.
Yeah.
And also, the only other, Ayakashi 8x, Miku Quinn, everything else like
Ayakashi
Albuda.
8x just shows up randomly in the top 8 like more than I ever expected to.
yeah.
I like that deck a lot.
Yeah, and like it's all the usual suspects. Lots of Nikkei, SDS, Albuda, 2 Overlords that, funnily enough,
It's a Fumio.
It's a Fumio. There you go. And yeah, 2 Overlords. One of them was an NA from I think they're out of Toronto, but also I might just be wrong. I know for a fact they're from Canada. And so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Vancouver. My memory, it's bad. It's really horrible. Anyways, and last thing I want to talk about here from Rosemont. I saw it. I fought against a variant of it in the side event tournament the day before. And now there's a 6 standby 2 pants variant of it in top 8. It's Frieren standby pants finisher with the trial deck pants and finisher with like the draw brainstormer and then just the Stark Fern standby thing surrounding it. Which, like, I gotta be real with you. Why?
I don't...
Like, just why? Why?
Yeah.
Why do we have to be doing this?
The problem with this... So, my problem with this in general is that, one, we playing a 3-color Frieren deck.
Yeah.
Which is not intrinsically problematic, but 2, we can't afford to run a whole bunch of any of the parts because we're too busy running everything else. It's like, you can't run too many birthday presents because we also gotta run the yellow so that we can get the Frieren TD like caster, plus we're playing the early play.
What are you? I have a question. I have a question for God. What are you searching with Hyder? Who are you searching for?
Yeah.
What are you searching for? It's pay 1, ditch 2, search 2. Okay. What are you searching for?
Is the
1/1?
No, the point of this, I think, is to discard the high-level cards in your hand so that you can pick up almost anything else so that you can cast, so you have cards to play on the following turn.
I guess.
Yeah. We've got some smattering of 1/1s and 2/2s like every other standby deck. For some reason, we're playing 2/2 Ferns. I guess because they're big.
Yeah, because they're big, because the 2/2 Stark doesn't do anything but make something unreversible.
Yeah.
And isn't big, and thus is not a great 2/2 standby target.
Yeah, but like, what are we gonna? I guess. Yeah.
The variant that I fought in the single limb was just 4 standby 4 pants, I think. Big if true.
Yeah.
But either way, I didn't see normal 8 pants, Frieren, anything like 8 book for any of that in the whole tournament. Like, all day I like looked to my left, looked to my right. I think I saw like 3 like standby pants Frierens.
Weird.
Like maybe I like double counted and there was only those 2 people, or maybe I'm just like crazy. Maybe that's just the same guy. Maybe that guy was the one I fought and he had 6 standbys and not 4 like I had thought that he had. But I don't know. I thought he had more pants in his deck. I don't know. I feel like I'm going insane. Either way, I am going insane. And the only version of Frieren that I saw in all of Rosemont while I was like looking around to my left and right, just like casually watching, was standby pants Frieren. What?
Yeah.
What is happening? And I played some of it on the sim. I built like a random variant on the sim. You know, the one that doesn't exist. Anyways, we were messing around with it. And I kind of get it into like 1k 1 soul decks that don't contest. And if you block, you like use the tools that you have to manage your deck state and you block, then you can get away with funny stuff. You can like do the actual birthday present burn. You can memory like their whole board on a turn because you can turn on great performance on Stark, and then your finisher is a hand finisher. You don't need that much stock for it, so you just get like probably double burn 4, maybe triple, and it's why not just play Fern? What was wrong? I'm asking politely. What was wrong with Fern?
I gotta be honest, the deck speed in this deck looks atrocious.
It's not great.
I mean,
it's not amazing.
We have check 3, add 1, and that's it. That's it.
Oh, this one doesn't even play the Akatsuki.
Nope.
So yeah, I don't even know.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
That's wild that it was built without the consideration that a guy that discards a card to look at 4 on placement for a level 1 or higher card.
Well, but you don't want any level 1 or higher cards.
I know, but like
all your level 1 or higher cards aren't free.
all I'm saying is that free discard outlets that move deck cards usually do well in standby decks.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, regardless,
it's a deeply confusing deck.
I don't know, man. This confused me. Comment below if you were at Rosemont and you played an 8-pan Spherin deck. just to assuage that maybe I'm not crazy. Now that would be difficult. We only have like on average like 160 listeners, but also the real ones tend to do pretty well and play a bunch of I don't know. Like I still remember like we were talking about the Sacramento tournament where the one slime player won.
Yeah.
And he like came in the comments like, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised I was the only one in top cut too. I was like, oh, damn, yeah.
No,
Sick.
that's the thing is that like
Hilarious.
Yeah, we do tend to bring out the players.
Yeah, anyways.
My final comment from Rosemont, if you play Albuda, you should be concerned. We're starting to see some pretty big, tight groupings of 8-door Albuda.
All right, how many in this top 8?
6.
1, 2. Oh, all top 4 teams have an Albuda.
Yep.
And then 2 more.
Yep.
Oh, honey.
Yep. So,
oh, baby.
So watch your ass. Maybe think about what you're gonna play midway through fall when that deck gets restricted.
Yeah. Last part of the Spike Corner today, we're gonna cut in because we're gonna give you some context. Carmen made an excellent all caps blog post about Trifielding at level 0 as on your first turn going second, and I just thought it was really funny, so I recorded myself screaming for 11 minutes this all caps blog post. And if you can't read, which you're a card game player, we don't discriminate. This may be true. If you can't read, I'm just going to put that audio right here. You can just listen to it. And you can read that blog post at thebeanwolf.blogspot.com. But if you can't read or you can't be fucked to read, then I'm going to just play that audio right now. And if you've already read it and you don't want to hear me screaming, and I will edit it to be quieter than the drive link that's available of that audio to match like our audio here on the podcast. But if you don't want to listen to it on YouTube, because we're so kind, I'm going to put the timestamp on the screen where you can skip. And if you're on Spotify, enjoy hearing me scream for the next 11 minutes.
What's up, fam? Today, I want to spit about something that'll probably rustle some jimmies, but fuck it! I don't care anymore! It's Trifielding! Specifically, on your first turn, going second! I know you fuckers out there love it! You do it all the time! Your friends do it, your mom does it, probably your dad too if he's even still around! The issue is, almost like 90% of the time, it's just straight up wrong to do! Now, why is this super complicated all the time? And all the fart sniffers, me included, will just, it depends you over and over into oblivion. So in the interest of clarity, I'm going to lay out a typical scenario for y'all so we can at least start somewhere. You go second. Your opponent goes first. They draw, clock, drop a single level 0, and swing it at your face. You take 2 like a fucking champ. Then draw and clock. You got 7 cards to your name and twinkles in your eyes. So what the ever-loving fuck do you do now? Alright, so to figure that out, we gotta ask ourselves more questions. There's gonna be a lot of these. So imagine it's like a list. It goes on, and my voice is duplicated. Just spin these out and shit. What are we doing? 3 times. Move around. Damn it! They made a rock our hands. Is that crazy? What if they go to level 1 first? You got a plan for that? You can really just keep asking yourself shit like this forever. And I told y'all that I wasn't gonna. It depends you. So let's dig into some of these. Everybody likes to talk about damage. Sweet damage. If you swing 3 times, you increase the chance that you're gonna stick that shit and send your opponent to the middle of level 1. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer all the time, but that shit should give you at least a little bit of pause. Do you really want to bear down your opponent's board of level 1 dudes next turn while you're stuck at 0 like a chump because your deck decided to fuck you? Which is even worse when you only got 4 cards plus your rando ass draw and clock to work with, by the way. But hey, maybe you're a god gamer. You had that good mulligan. You got an aqua on the board. Clean cut, locked and loaded to send your brainstorm to the back row, and you're ready to rock and roll at level 1 or spin your wheels a bit if you happen to cancel. That brings us right back to the top. Surely, it's fine to Trifield now, right? Oh, I dropped my whole hand turn 1 and my deck stopped working. What is happening? This is so unfair. Holy shit. Why is this so RNG bullshit? I'm just gonna go play Tragic the Gardener because it has so much more skill. Wrong, bitch! Of course it's trickier than that. One thing that goes second first turn Trifields always do is make your game shakier than a sailboat in a tornado. When you do this, you're making a hopefully conscious effort to make the game unstable. You go down in resources to hopefully pressure your opponent into having less time to play their game. Questions again. Does your deck play better under that crunch than your opponent's? Can you keep that pressure up so they stay under the crunch? Is the gamble of potentially removing an entire turn from your opponent's game worth the risk of losing that extra card, leaving you high and dry on the follow-up? Only you, in the moment, in the matchup, can answer these questions. But this is kind of shit that should guide your thought process when you're in the sauce. So back to damage. It's important to remember that your opponent can always just cancel like a fucking lucker. First deck is random as fuck. And generally, the most romper room part of the game. And although Simu's saying of deck thick damage stick still holds, it's more valuable to look at attempts to push early damage like you're a super conservative investor. We want index funds and securities, not bimbo bombo crypto bullshit. You gotta look at this shit with an eye of downside risk. By burning the extra resources without a surefire plan to rip them back locked and loaded, you could easily end up fucked and unable to recover with a shaky-ass game state on your hands. Now, there's a good, basic, canned way to mitigate this. It isn't always right, but one thing you can do if you want to try to push damage is to just swing twice in the open lanes. You split the difference and get 2 stock, 2 + 1 soul swings. But you still keep a 5-card hand for the next turn, giving you a full grip of 7 after you draw and clock. One thing people don't realize is just one soul trigger in one of those directs threatens to push your opponent to level 1. With Boucheron giving out soul triggers like Oprah fucking Winfrey. That's more likely now than ever. On the flip side, if you want to throttle your opponent while still getting 2 stock, summon a front/side instead of the second direct. This is a good opportunity for a quick sidebar. This is why people say that chasers and runners help you control the early game. They give you that agency to fog or increase your maximum damage taken by blocking or opening up lanes. So on to more questions. One thing I hear people still say is that Trifielding going second makes your opponent's level 1 worse. Not sure what year these people are living in, but that shit is straight up false in 2025. Modern utility is fucking cracked. And people can rip double or even triple combo out of nowhere with just 1 stock. Just use your investor eyes again. Is the risk of expending those extra resources and shaking up the game so early worth it? That answer is going to be no! In like almost all matchups these days, these overloaded cards that suck your dick and hand you $20 while stock charging you are just too fucking good and too common these days. And though some weirdo or old matchups, this might still hold, but that's going to be up to you to evaluate. Remember, downside risk. And also regarding the Yamada Hermione Minato Aqua profile, this profile, yeah, on death, pay 1, clock from waiting room to bottom clock, check 2 at all characters. That makes it really hard for newer players to learn fundamentals, but that's a topic for another post. Okay, less negativity now. What about the times where you actually want to try field going second? This is really only going to be the case when either you god draw, you're playing some dumbass dog bane shit like New Bane Dream, or most commonly when you got to pay for a crazy 10+ stock play later on. When you play strategies like that, you got to accept the instability you introduce to the game as the cost of doing business. But that doesn't mean we have to be idiots about it. Show some of that good, preferably costless, plussing in there. I'm talking clean cuts, on-death Rickies. Hell, even Clock Encore should be on the table. Aquas are fucking cracked because even though you spend a stock and the cards you get are random, you still have a damn good chance of getting double the cards for your money. There's so much goddamn stupid utility in the game now that you can likely turn those cards into whatever you want for free. It's important to note that I'm not talking about doing this and warping your deck for your standard pussy-ass finisher turns that only cost like 7 or 8 stock. If you can't hit that shit with normal play, you got a skill issue to work on. I'm talking about the big boy plays, ones that cost 9, 10, or even 11+ stock. Even still, if your stat has access to stock charging of any kind, you should play that shit instead of planning to always try field going second. Having the option to pivot and do the correct play is better than planning to possibly punt from the jump. Now look at that shit. Even the cringe Google AI knows this shit is whack. See that right there? The AI overview. This strategy is not always optimal and can leave players vulnerable. We could go on forever with more questions, but I think I'm going to leave it here. This should at least get the gears turning for y'all on the kinds of things you should be considering when you're approaching the early game. People don't like to admit it since it's so easy to just go, oh my God, randomness, RNG, so kooky and crazy. But you can indeed just fuck up and lose the whole damn game on your first turn doing shit like trifielding without considering the consequences. I got more shit like this floating, or Carmen has more shit like this floating around on the YouTube channel, PGH_White and here on the blog, thebeanwolf.blogspot.com. So feel free to check that shit out if you want. Really hope that some of this can get through to people so I can stop floating to rounds 1 to 4 of every regional half asleep. People be playing like the Simbot out here. For real. Happy Independence Day. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
Right. Happy Independence Day. It is actually July 4th as we are recording this right now. So honestly, pretty funny timing for that.
Yeah. So I think we're going to include obviously, if you're on YouTube, we're going to include the link to the blog post so that you can go check it out.
I mean, it'll be on the Spotify description too. You can have the link.
Yeah. So if you want to read it, it'll be available. And I think you should, if you're interested in competitive play, I think you should read it because players... Weiss Schwarz has gotten a reputation that I think is very ill-deserved, that it is a coin flip game, it's a luck sack game, it's a waifu game, it doesn't have any real tactical play, it's just like sending it, turn the guy sideways, hope for the best, probably will work out, maybe it won't. The thing is that players, the TLDR of that whole post is that players are willingly handshaking that by opting into overly aggressive, overly risky level 0 plays where you trifield all the zeros that you have, and if the game goes sideways because either they block, you block, or they take and then you block and then you can't play the game anymore, you chose that.
Yeah, and then sometimes you just chose that even if they take and you take, it's bad. Like, you killed 3 of your cards and then you drew clocks, and then you draw nothing, and you didn't have that much to begin with, and you don't have any more zeros, so yeah. Like, even if they take and you take, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah, so I think, especially if you're struggling with the game, you're not getting the finishes you need or you want, and you're trying to figure out, what can I do to make games more stable, more winnable? I think if you can extract the value from that post, the value should be, don't opt in, don't handshake risky gambles that if they turn completely sideways, the game's over. Like, there is so hard to come back from situations where your hand is completely bankrupt. It's possible. You can always brainstorm and hit 3, and then you know what, the game bailed you out, right? And that was kind of another solid point of the post. It's not that you're going to immediately lose. It's just that you've unbalanced the game for yourself. You've made the game highly unstable. And so you now are at the whims of your deck much more than you would be if you had played more conservatively. And this is one of the biggest distinguishing features between playing players from North America and playing players from Japan. Japanese players will never opt into this stuff. They won't. Good Japanese players prize the stability of the game over most things. They want to be able to continue to play the game from their perspective. They will straight up pass at level 0 if they don't have a good way to set it up, as long as they think they can play their level 1 game. They will play extremely conservatively at 0 if their hand doesn't support any other style. They will never send it or they will rarely send it. And it's because it makes the game highly variant and really luck-based. And you should not do that if you think that you are skilled at the game and you'll be able to continue to make plays. Sending it by just attacking with your entire hand and hoping for the best is the kind of the hallmark of players who are new to the game or people who are underskilled at the game, because they don't understand the gravity of what they're doing. They just see the casino part of it where, like,
or not even, it's more of like, oh, I can play more guys, so I should play 3 guys
right
on my turn.
But they want to, like, they just want the big damage, right? It's like you see the 777 light up on the slot machine. You're like, woo, we did it. We did 8 damage or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but 8 damage doesn't win the game, and you've now made the rest of the game much harder by opting into what you've done. This is kind of like similar in Magic, to where if you use your entire hand to deal 15 damage to a player, it's like, okay, you could still win technically, but like you've made the game so hard for no reason. And if you just been normal, you probably would have been fine. So I think that it's a very nice article, despite the funny context of it and despite Ben's dramatic reading. I think that those parts are very funny, but
right.
and like the captions in the blog post are chef's kiss. But the takeaway is really salient. Don't unbalance the game if you don't need to. Just attack twice and keep your hand stable. Or you can go hard if you have the setup for it. Like, that's the other takeaway, is that, like, maybe your hand is like clean cut, brainstorm, aqua, and you're just like, okay, well, now I could go ham because I've got all these zeros, and a lot of these zeros will produce other zeros. So there's no downside to going ham. That's the deal, is you need to make sure and do a little analysis, spend like 10, 15 seconds looking at your hand and be like, okay, if all my guys die and I block all these, do I have anything I can do next turn? If the answer is no, you should probably reconsider what you're doing.
Yeah. Not to be a fart sniffer it depends you, but like, yeah,
Yep.
bro, you gotta think about it a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to be better at the game, it pays a lot to take some time and think about what the consequences are of the best and worst case scenario of your turn. And if you can't tolerate either one of those, don't do it. Just don't do it.
And also, not to, I'm pretty sure Carmen's gonna dive into more of like the level 0, like the aqua plussing.
Yeah.
Kind of being, a bit weird for new players. We have a podcast and we can do it right now. Aqua. Like, you've been lots of new players have been so bailed by the existence of Aqua, a card that goes +3 more often than not, that you can just field, and probably Trifield with on turn 2, and then just never be punished.
Yeah, and if you don't know what card we're talking about, or just the general mechanic that we're talking about here, we're talking about on reverse, you can clock yourself.
On death.
Or on death, yeah. On death, you can clock yourself to look at the top 2 cards, and if they're both characters, or add as many characters as you find to your hand.
But the real thing about Aqua, in particular Aqua, and not Shuna, or other characters that get on death, pay 1, clock self, check 2, add all characters, is that Aqua is a 3500.
Yeah.
Aqua's gonna live turn 1
A lot.
most of the time, unless it gets bombed, and bombs were super prevalent. And then worst case scenario on average +2, best case scenario +3, maybe +4. Like, if it lives 2 turns at 0, you block a little bit and then you get to crack it.
Infinity hand size.
Yeah.
And so the reality is that, like, having the ability to turn 1 stock and 1 damage into 2 cards,
after already producing a card within itself,
right, and probably removing one of your opponent's cards, is just allows for the most ignorant level 0 plays imaginable, where you can just go as hard as you want and there will be no downside, because you can just immediately transition into whatever it is that comes into your hand on the following turn.
Yeah, because Hololive also has a great Rico that randomly pluses.
Yeah.
And then, so you'll always be able to transfer it into something. Or if they also run Helmet, now it's like Rico, Helmet, get whatever card I want, don't care about hand negging because I've already plussed into the infinity. I do my climax combo, now I've plussed, I've made up for everything. I hit a brainstorm, everything's Daijobu.
Yeah, and the other end of that is that because of this is Hololive specific, but a lot of people kind of came into the game with Hololive, learning on Hololive. Another thing that kind of is the consequence of that is if your hand's already good and you Aqua and you get like 2 random cards, like Kanata being there to translate those into just an entire 2/3 of a turn worth of stock just lets you get to these obscene stock states where it's like, how does my opponent have 8 stock at the end of his level 1 turn? It's like, well, he got 2 stock from nowhere because he clocked himself once. And you're like, oh, should that be legal? It's like, I don't know, but it is. So
yeah, I don't know, but it is. It's kind of like playing Gakuan, where I'm like, all right. I've got 2 helmets in my hand. Did I hit a brainstorm? Great. 5 memory on the single turn. I paid 2 stock for this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
well, and so a lot
Like
of
just obscene stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of decks won't be able to perform these sort of behaviors, but the other thing is that if you are going to try for this stuff and try and make these really aggressive plays because you think your hand or deck state supports it, you need to remember, in particular with stuff like Aqua, there is real counterplay to those cards, and if you get hit with it, you need to be aware that the set you're facing might have it, and then you need a game plan for if you get hit with it, because it's certain that your opponent is going to know that you run Aqua because there's only a few sets that have it and almost all of them run it. And so they know beforehand, probably, or should, that you have it. And if they see it, then they will do their very best to prioritize the answer to it to deny you. And the harder you go, the more painful that denial can become.
Yeah, and it all actually loops back to that post in the sense of if you out there, prospective, newer Weishforts player who came in on Hololive, you had Aqua, and you go to another set that was slightly more balanced at level 0, which is 90% of them. You don't have Aqua, and I cannot stress enough, you should not always Trifield at level 0 going second. Your ability to have a card that goes +3 to +4 is negligible at best. Even in like more modern sets, like they understood the balance mistake. Notice how the slime one is only 1,000 defensively. Notice how nobody else is getting 3,500 on death, clock self, check 2, add 2s. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you need to think. I'm begging you on my hands and knees to think for even 5 seconds about whether or not you should Trifield at level 0. Turn 2. Maybe even turn 3. If you block twice, maybe you don't Trifield again.
Yeah.
Just
Make the plays your hand supports.
please make the plays your hand supports. Cannot stress enough, unless you're playing, to quote from, actually I'm looking up the article. Okay, unless you right there, if you're playing some dumbass dog brain shit like New Bang Dream, quote unquote, or most commonly when you gotta pay for a crazy 10+ stock play later on, please just think about it. Just don't always do it.
Yeah. And shout outs to Carmen and PGH White Schwartz. Thank you for writing that article. It's really good. The game is very, very short on contributions to tactical play and to strategic play in the game.
Yeah, and we're not helping. Our blog is dead, Steve. gotta write something. Pick up the pen.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not part of it, but all I'm saying is that
For sure.
we don't have enough of that content, and it's good to see it. Thank you so much for writing it,
Yes.
and more importantly, letting us farm it for content.
The classic. Well, I mean, he didn't necessarily let us, but it's out there, so we could smile. But yeah, jokes aside, thanks, Carmen. That's our Spike Corner, but it's not our episode. Let's check in on some ambitious deck building. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not a shorter episode. We have a whole third segment. Get a load of this. We've been playing ambitious decks. Ryan commissioned 8 Pants CSM. And I cannot stress enough that it's fine. It's fine. You get reasonable-ish, like, mid-game because you have the Aki that heals and it gets stuck, and you have the 2-1 Future Devil Aki. Your finisher heals. It's very defensive. It's fine. You're playing the bomb because you're not playing the stock soul combo, so you'll always have easy revenge. It actually has like a tricky amount of deck speed at that point because like even when your deck is low, you can like brainstorm double easy revenge, like get the Kishibe that mills 3 and like discard climax to salvage, and like you're playing Nana. I cannot stress enough, on attack salvage, the combo does not, it doesn't say deck speed. It's the same problem as Nana Revue Starlight. It's even a similar-ish problem to the Saki from Gagawan Idolmaster I was just complaining about, because it's on reverse, check top salvage, stock that card, which isn't an amazing amount of deck speed. It's all of these things, it's not a great amount of deck speed. And you have to live with that, is all I'm saying. Anytime you out there, you in the universe, you out there, I don't care what set you're playing, I don't care what climax it's on, if your combo does not inherently say, I'm a mill in my deck, then your deck 1 is probably a coin flip. Your life depends on your deck 1. Whether or not the game is balanced to your side will probably depend on the deck 1. Did you double block at 1? Great. Now you can use all your other random deck speed tools, get to your deck 2, compress down, jolly days. If you did not block on deck 1, you went to 2-3, your 10 cards left in your deck 1 is like 5 climaxes. I'm sorry, the game's hard now. Okay? And it is what it is.
Yeah, so what I like about 8 Pants is it opens up some cards that you probably didn't run before and probably never would have run before, just because of the nature of like how some of your characters behave. So it on attack salvage as a combo, and this one has like a bunch of other text to it that's basically power and hand encore, but the hand encore is
it's
really,
climax.
Yeah, the hand encore is really clunky. It's event or climax hand encore,
which number 1, you're probably not ditching your event, and number 2, you're actually, the funny thing is, in an 8 Pants context, I've used that climax hand encore a bunch whenever you trigger a lot of pans.
Yeah.
So yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
When
you're sad, you can discard to get your guy back to recombo. When you over trigger pants, that's what that card says.
Yeah, kind of the problem here is you would want to run some more events to try and like balance this out a little more and make it more reliable.
Are there other useful events?
No.
Okay. I'm glad that we established that.
There's technically there's a yellow event that's kind of playable where you pitch 2 characters.
We have no yellow, so that's a great start.
You pay 1 and pitch 2 characters to get a Denji, an Aki, and a power.
Oh, it's like a squad up, kind of. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's like stock up, but terrible. And then green has no good events, which is the color you'd want them to be in. And then
Flesh of the Gun Devil.
that event sucks.
Marker a character, and they get 2k. Then, when it gets put into waiting room from a marker area, put it into memory. And if it's in memory at the beginning of your main phase, return it into your hand.
Yes.
It
does a bunch of fuck all nothing for 2,000 power. It's just not good.
It gives 2,000 power until end of turn.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. So that, like I said, that event's not good. We have fair finishing with pay 1, ditch 1, burn 2, or burn 3. It's cool that it's modular.
Yeah,
it stinks.
love modular finishing.
It stinks that it heals on play. Because, yeah, that means we're going to need 7 stock to win the game. And at least 6 cards in hand.
Well, it's a good thing that we have Aki Healer.
Yeah, 7 cards in hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna
I've basically
need the
only
game to go well.
Yeah, I mean, I've basically only double finishered with it so far, but like you're healing so much because you have the early play heal and you have the what is it? The back row heal, because that still works because you're on pans, so you can trigger pans and add a pans and discard a pans to heal.
Are you playing the 0 Himeno that pitches a climax on climax trigger to salvage?
No, I didn't know that was a thing, but that would probably not work with the back row because the back row has to be the 2/1 and probably a brainstormer.
Well, I mean, like, it's a 0.
Yeah, you could play it early.
Yeah.
But then also, on average, what I've been doing instead is just like discarding extra pants to encore my 1 combo.
Yeah, it's on climax placement, 1500 cross turn, and then pitch a climax. If your climax trigger reveals a climax and easy revenge is in memory, you can pitch the climax to salvage. So
Yeah.
I was running
It's
it a
not
little
bad.
bit in the 8-bar deck, and I found it to be quite useful. Green is the splash, obviously, for a billion good reasons. You have the Himeno double bouncer. You've got the Rico, the Brainstormer that can go to memory and dig for stuff.
I don't think he's playing any of that.
You have the green climax swapper, like none of it?
Nope.
It's all blue? The
Yep.
deck's just all blue?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Yep.
That's...
It's fine.
It's fair Weiss Schwartz, yeah.
It's fine and fair Weiss Schwartz.
We love fair Weiss Schwartz, but the problem is that you'll run into a bunch of opponents that are not playing fair. And so in those situations, it could be really tough.
And again, cannot stress enough. I poured so many hours into this kind of early game configuration. When your combo says no deck speed, you are really, really preying on your deck 1. Immensely preying. The block's gotta come sometime. And maybe that's at level 2 when you're at the end of deck 1 and there's like, I don't know, 4 in 7 and you really, really hope to not double trigger. But, you know, that's kind of the scenarios that you get yourself into. Whenever you don't have great ways to compress and turbo through your entire deck 1 and, get rid of that. And, if you're being facetious, you might look at me and say, but Ben, 7 Deadly Sins doesn't have a deck milling early game combo. The Brainstormer just mills 1 and then salvages. Right. Now let's direct you to the part where you said Brainstormer, and they'll have 2 of those, and they'll both brainstorm, and they have a guy that sacks a character even to brainstorm for check 3. And then the 1-0s that they play check 2 on attack to get rid of a card. and like understand that you're being wrong.
And kind of the irony of this, I'm glad you brought up CSM, because kind of the irony of this is that like you could have that
You could.
if you just didn't play Pants at 1 and played Stock Soul at 1 or at 0. Then you could have a similar style of deck where you have the 0 Brainstorm, you have Easy Revenge, you have the other Brainstorm that sacks to Brainstorm, you've got the Kishibe, or you can play the 1-0 to like the 1-0 Himeno to like buoy your hand with extra cards, and then you're that deck where every turn you were brainstorming 100% of the time because it's absolutely free. If it hits, great, dig even further. If it doesn't hit, who cares? We can spam it, and then you play the game in that style where it's like, do I need to do something? I do something. If I don't need to do something,
honestly,
I do nothing.
and the thing is about it too is that you only need 2 easy revenges, right? You're not playing Aki.
Yeah.
Himeno, the finisher, needs 2.
Yeah.
Aki, the healer, needs 2, right? 2? Question mark?
Yes.
All right. So, like, yeah, you could be that guy a little bit. You don't have Meliodas, wielder of Losfane, but, like, I don't know, like,
No, you got the Himeno 1-0.
you got
it's
the
like-
Himeno 1-0,
It, like,
you've got Kashiba.
it'll give you some fake plussing, and then, yeah. Kishibe, this is a good time to be playing Kishibe,
I
honestly.
feel like it's not, yeah.
like
I don't know
level
that
1
peop-
games are kind of at historically low power levels.
Honestly, yeah, like, even the Nikkei standby, like, it's only 4 standbys. They're
Yeah.
putting a 2-2 power guy in the back. Oh no, their Modernia is 7k. Wild that girl with a fucking 10k Devil Hunter, bro. I don't know, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of dig Kishibe right now. It's a good thing this deck got nerfed. It would be really bad in the meta.
Yeah. Now I'm like looking at all the level 1s again. There's like the yellow Denji, but like we're not in yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic early game from the previous deck. It's just instead of Bar on the top end, you have Pants on the top end, which I think
Maybe
is,
you just do that.
which is fine. I think like you can that shell, the 0 to 1 shell that existed for that Himeno creates. Nothing happened to make that bad. Nothing. Like that shell is still great.
Wow, there are not that many level 1s in the set.
No, and a lot of them suck. But
I noticed, yeah.
But there was a reason they were playing it the way they were playing it before. It's because there were none of the 1 combos were as good as the 0 combo. And so it just opens things up a little more to be able to be like, okay, but I'm going to draw 3 cards. So
Yeah. And like, and not for nothing, doesn't have to be Kishibe.
no,
You
it
know,
could be.
You can just be like the 0 game guy.
You could just be 4 Himeno and call it good, and just play mono blue.
You even play just like the Denji zombie.
Yeah.
With the power we already played the power that stocks. You play the Denji zombie, send that away, send that into the oblivion after you kill somebody with a 9k level 0 that has a soul trigger for some reason.
Yeah. So there's a number of ways to play it.
There is. I might try that now. I don't. There's not that many adjustments you can make to 8 Pants to like tune it up higher.
You could,
in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could play you could play on Death Akatsuki, but
Yeah, I mean, like deck speed isn't even the biggest problem because
no.
you can kind of get there, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna mill through the first deck with all of the milling that you have, and then still have a hand, right?
No.
Like, that's just how it is. So if you block too much at 0, then that's your blocking for the first deck, and then you're trying not to mill out the rest of your blocks, and you're trying to get there. And then if you don't block a lot at 0, and then you block, that's kind of the sweet spot for a deck that doesn't have a lot of inherent deck speed at 1, is that you take the damage at 0, you go to 1, you do your 1 combo, and then you block, right?
Yeah.
Because at that point, then the milling tools you have will get you to the end of this deck, then you can get to the next deck after you've stock compressed. That's your goal.
Right, and the other thing to take away from all of this is that if you look at the decks that are like really peaking out in the meta right now, all of them either have powerful milling at 0 or their level 1 combo provides some way to really move cards in the deck. So
Yeah, Nikkei has like just we have Jackal, Mill 5, Search Brainstorm. We have a bunch of draw ditching going on.
they also have on death pitch to look at for
And add any character.
Yeah, including
On
itself.
play, pay 1, clock self, check 6.
Yep.
You know, like there's
So their
Yeah.
their level 1 combo, not like moving 2 cards at a time, isn't a problem because they have lots of other tools at 0 to do that. If you don't have one or the other of those things, then Ben's point's quite salient. The game becomes more whimsical than it needs to. Nino has the same thing too, where there's a check 5 for Nino, but also because she has a powerful check triggers mechanic on nearly every attack that goes on from the deck, they get to mitigate risk a lot better outside of really random scenarios where like they just have a bunch of climaxes stacked together and there's nothing they can do. To talk about another ambitious deck, I have a proto build for it, but it looks awful.
What? We don't like 8 standby in Albuda?
No. This might be the worst standby combo ever printed. It is. This is a combo from like 95 years ago when like the game was new. It's the worst, and this isn't a modern set too. This isn't a set that literally just came out that gave us all of this like complete nonsense bullshit. The My Baccarat. In the exact same set, they decided that in their infinite wisdom, their standby combo should be 1500 to all. That's it. That's the combo. 1500 to all.
No, but it's off combo, like burn.
But that's not what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about what the standby does.
Right. Yeah.
It does nothing. It's literally 1500 to all.
But that turns on it helps you get the power to get the on reverse.
Yeah, we have a 10K
to burn.
here, and it's pay 2 and it's encore step, and your opponent can't have any unreversed characters. You can burn 2. It's not like if it reverses, you burn 2. No. It's fever burn 2. It's the worst garbage I've ever seen.
But you combo to get the power, so you'll have
Right.
the fever, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
that's how that's gonna go.
It's
Yeah.
great. As long as you never play any other standby decks, you're golden. So we're gonna try and build something for 8 standby Obuda. That's not my finisher. My finisher is pay 2, ditch 2 on reverse to burn 5. But in any case, we're gonna find every decent off finishing mechanic in the set, and we're gonna try and jam them all into one deck and see what happens. By the way, your level 1 combo is also a no side attacker that is 5k that on reverse salvage. So we have literally all the cards in the deck stacked all the way up against us. We have no deck speed, and we have 2 of the worst combos I've ever heard of. So this is going to be a very questionable deck build. 8-pan CSM will probably throttle this deck. But I'll do my best. And the set 1 cards, we're going to need them. The set 2 cards, we're going to need them. The set 3 cards, you bet we're going to need them. So we're going to have to dig through the entire card pool to find something worth running. But we're going to try.
And finally for today, it's Billy's Billy's Milim Shizu Go Fuck Yourself list from Slime. I've played some of it. It feels fine. I'm going to take this Hakuro, take him out back, and replace him with Rimuru, the clean cut. Because as it turns out, free plussing. We love that. We have a very, very stock intensive mid game. We need to have free plussing in the early game is what we need. It's what we want. I might even switch the Milim Chaser to like the Rimuru's center runner that bounces into stock. I thought about it for like 10 seconds.
If you don't run Milim, I don't know.
But also it's Milim, so you really can't. Because Milim is that goated. Anyways, so yeah, we need to do that. We're gonna run like the drop search level swap, because at that point, after cutting Hakuro, we will have like Ricky's and Shion for yellow, and we need to play Shion, so yeah, we don't want that. And then we'll figure it out. It's more stable. I don't know whether or not it's worth keeping the hexproof setup in the list because the deck is so stock intensive. Your back row is potions 99.99% of the time.
Yeah.
So your desire to play the hexproof board is low whenever there's no counterplay facing you, and you can always reverse whatever they have because Shizu on average will still be like a 9k, an 8k, even without a 1k 1 soul climax. Like, she gives power on play for the characters you have on board. So like, even if you have no other characters to start with and you play her first, she gives herself 1k, she's an 8k. Like, that's good enough for most things. Like, as an on reverse finisher, or not finisher, but like effect, right? So like at level 2, yeah, like, you know, most of the decks are like 1k 1 soul things. Like, we don't care about their power. If there was much more, even if there was much more Nino, like if it's early 2, right, and you do your combo, their 2/2s are 8k. Like, maybe they get the assist to 9k, right?
Yeah.
Big. Anyways, yeah, and then maybe I guess I can consider getting the hexproof onto the board, and then I'll be invincible, because at that point I'll just be like, base 9k, pump to 10, pump to 11, die.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like,
it's really hard to resist that thing reversing you. It's just really hard.
it's just like, there's not, I don't know, doesn't feel like there's a great need for power pumping in the current meta. Cannot stress enough, in the current meta, because even things with board like Nikkei, it's not like they're putting down 3 Alice healers, right? It's gonna be on that turn the Alice healer and some guys, so you can reverse those guys and send 2 of their climaxes into the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. We're working on it. We're thinking about it. And is it reasonable? Yeah, man. Like, there was a line where I just, they didn't block at all, so I just sent 2 of their finishers into memory. Like, yeah, good luck tripling now. 2 of them are gone.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, dude. Memorying 2 of your opponent's waiting room cards on command is good. We can all agree that that's good. And also, it's slime with a plussing 1 combo. It turns out there was a game where I just didn't feel the stock soul combo at all, or the stock soul, and it was playable. Like, I just kept doing Milim because I happened to draw doors, and so I just kept playing Milim, and the only reason I lost was that I just barely didn't block. But like, the crackback was double Shion, and he's at 3/3. Like,
yeah.
Turns out that everything around slime, even without Muron, like, yes, the finishing isn't amazing, but it's climax less. And there's enough random plussing otherwise, as long as you have any plussing combo, to have the setup to like double Shion or like double Benny, and you can like try, you know?
Yeah, exactly. This is the most reasonable of those mechanics that's ever been printed, and it has the greatest chance of just absolutely destroying your opponent from like, if you manage to hit it before they can refresh, oh my god, it's just a nightmare.
Like, and I think, to be honest, this is kind of, I like this idea, like, as like a slime idea. Like, Milim Euron, fine, just very fine. But like, setting up this Shizu thing and getting it to proc, like, the weakness of the set-ish is the finishing. So like, hear me out, I'm taking 2 of your climaxes. Go absolutely fuck yourself. Like,
yeah, the only downside,
double burn 4 looks a lot better when 2 of the climaxes are in exile.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
I think the trick of it's figuring out the advantage engine portions of it, and like getting those other parts figured out that you want to feel comfortable with.
So
I know it's a go fuck yourself list, and so that's why it's running the Milim
I love
like one
Milim.
combo.
Yeah.
I thought about Shizu.
Ugh. The red.
It's pants.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
Yeah. So we can get the stock soul, because like I can't get the stock soul in my hand. So
Nah.
like maybe Shizu? No? We can play we can opt into the healer for like
Is there any chance?
healing and hand encore.
Is there any way we can play Miron?
No, dude. What the fuck? How? They're both level 2. What do you mean? Is there any chance we can play Miron? My dumbass, bro. What do you mean?
All right, so
How? Come
First-
on. All right, talk to me.
All right,
okay,
first-
okay. Okay, talk to me. Okay.
if the games
Justify this to me.
if the
We
games-
don't have a plussing combo to lead up into Miron. We have no way to sculpt it. What am I
no,
doing
no,
in the
that's
early
not
game?
true. That's not true. We have ways.
We have no human Miron.
All right.
So you're three rulesing it.
Yeah. Plus, we can just draw it.
Uh-huh.
All right. So what we do is we set up Miron.
Okay.
We get Miron.
Okay.
We Miron combo for the climax removal parts.
Okay.
We block,
Right.
and then we remove their
Get a load of
climaxes.
this guy.
And then
We
we win.
block. We have no early game setup whatsoever. We're just going straight to Miron, and then we block. We block.
I was just speculating.
We block. Get a load of this guy. What's my early game, Steve? What am I playing at levels 1?
At 1?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What can I possibly do here?
I'm sure we can figure it out.
I'm sure we could get a load of this fucking guy. I'm sure we can figure it out my ass. What am I gonna play at 1, bro? Huh?
I was just thinking. I like Milim. I think Milim's good.
I like Milim too.
The Bonder makes it a lot more certain, and having the deck slots to be able to run several of it makes it a lot more certain. So
Yeah.
the only downside to Milim is that it's highly unselective, but that's what Veldora is for. So,
Yeah.
and like you kind of have mediocre deck speed, so like sometimes you can get yourself into bad deck states and you can't get out.
Yeah, true.
But
I love how your like first like blush on that was like, what if I pivoted from mediocre deck speed to none? we just don't have any of that. And we just okay, well hold on. Okay, so
Can I run a third climax? That's what I'm really asking. Can I run a third climax?
Can you run it? I don't know about that.
Can't we run 2 pants? Just
I
for the
don't
boys?
know. I hate that. No, I don't want to run 2 pants, bro. Come on.
All right.
Wait, run 2 pants. What's the other pants? The 0 combo?
No. We run the Milim combo, and then Miron,
What?
and then the Stoxel.
That's door pants Soxel.
Yeah.
That's not a second pants like you had
another.
originally.
Yeah. 2 pants for.
Oh, we're gonna
For
do
Miron.
Milim Miron Shizu. I hate that. No. What I was thinking of, there's a level 1. It's a Shuna. Well, hold on.
No.
Well, hold on.
No. It's green.
Okay. I mean, we just sacked Benny Maru.
All right.
We just sacked Benny Maru. Let me cook. We just sacked Benny Maru.
No.
We just play Veldora.
This is worse than Miron.
It's Bar. What do you mean it's worse than Miron? My ass.
No.
We just sack Benny Maru.
Benny Maru is your best finisher.
Is it not Shion at this point?
No, Shion's just the most explosive. Benny Maru is the best one.
All right.
And the reason you know that is because, like, there were decks that actually didn't run Shuna or ran 1 Shuna. There were never decks that didn't run Benny Maru or ran
There
1
were.
Benny Maru.
Yeah, there were.
Not that many.
Yeah, but they still won.
There were way more decks running 4 Benny Maru than no Benny Maru.
Bias. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't
But
like it.
I mean, it's Benny Veldora.
Yeah, the problem is the lack of green cards in other sets. I think we both know that. But
Yeah.
the Milim or not the Milim, the
All right. It's on play.
Not that.
Check for.
What's the red one?
What's the red one?
There's a red slime combo.
Yeah, Corone.
Yeah, that. Corone at home. Yeah. Just run that.
Yeah, we can do that. We
I would
could
rather
also...
have. I'd rather have Milan, but Corone is more salient. You have a better setup.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we love Corone.
And its
at
door.
home.
It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, like Milam is fine, but like Corone's nice.
It makes it where your setups won't be so clunky.
For sure, yeah. You're
And the
not
other
just like
thing-
sending it and praying.
Yeah, and it can't fail really. So like,
Yeah.
Milam can technically fail if it runs into climaxes and stuff, whereas this kind of can't.
Yeah, if you like don't have the bonder and like you can't get yourself out of it, yeah.
Or even if you do have the bonder, it's like you can.
Yeah, just check 2 climaxes. And...
Yeah, it's like okay, well that's really bad. But
Yeah.
But the other thing is that you get some like, you get some compression out of searching your deck in deck 1, which is kind of cool.
For sure, yeah.
But not the best. We're just kind of spitballing it. But yeah, I think I like Milam the best, and then this second best because Milam also is disruptive. So you're trading some of your value for disruption.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's disruption the deck, right? We're gonna play Milam, right? We're gonna play Milam. It's fine.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just,
But
yeah,
also
get some rammers in there to shore up the games that go too long.
Rammers.
The Ramorous 1.
So you remember at the top of the hour when I said that the problem with this deck was stock?
Yeah, I thought you said you wanted to add. What Rammers were you wanting to add?
I wasn't gonna add a Rammers. I was adding a clean cut. Rimuru.
Oh, Rimuru.
Yeah.
Sure.
Clean cut.
I guess.
Clean cut, bro.
You don't like Hakuro?
I mean, I like Hakuro. He
He just doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
I mean, he does something, but it's not adding cards into my effective card pool.
No. Yeah, I like the clean cut one.
Yeah.
Is it 3/5?
On play, check the top. If character, level +1 level, +1 5.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's set to Rimuru, just completely fine card. And 80% of the time, it's gas, and then the other 10% of the remaining 20%, the 0 game at Modern Weichschwartz sucks so much that a 2K will get a reverse anyways, and then the final 10% of the time you want to die.
Yeah, it's just a shitter.
Yeah.
All right, well, fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right,
We're gonna swap in the clean cut, and that's what we're gonna do.
sounds fine.
All right. That sounds good.
Oh yeah, another way you could plus in a Climax's level 1 game is you could play the 0 that's like on Climax placement, pay 1 to Impulse 4.
Oh yeah, true.
The Shion.
Yeah.
Is there a level 1 game that's mono yellow where it's just like Shion, Ramorous, pray heavily?
This motherfucker.
I'm suggesting even more ambitious decks than the ambitiousest deck that we can think of for slime.
Okay. There is a mono yellow one.
Yeah, but you'd have to play Diablo, right? Is that
Yeah,
what we're thinking?
we could play wind,
Yeah, that sounds awful.
but
I want that combo to be good. It just isn't.
I mean, it's good. On reverse, check 4,
If
add
it-
1, stock 1. That's
If-
stock.
if
That's
it
hand
wor-
and stock.
Only if it works, which is kind of the tricky part of it.
I mean, it's on reverse. It's gonna be an 8K.
No, I'm talking about like revealing 2 level 1 or.
No, it's just character.
Oh, is it?
No. The bad card you're thinking about is in Bang Tree. We're not in there.
Okay.
We
He can stock any card.
we have to suffer wind.
Okay. Wait.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Let's pull up the Godzilla released in English? Huh. I didn't realize.
not here.
No, well, somewhere because
Sure.
like it's on the English deck log. But,
Yeah, just not here in America.
Oh, okay. Well, that's annoying. Okay, so all right. Here we go. Level 1 filter. Here's Diablo, loyal servant. Yeah.
Okay.
Check 4, 2 characters, 1 to hand, 1 to stock.
It's just we have to play with the garbage wind trigger.
Yep, we have to play with 0 plussing triggers.
Nope, that's not gonna work. I don't. Just keep playing,
mean-
Milan.
No. I mean, let me cook.
The even bigger problem is this card's yellow, so
Yeah, you just
That's
level.
exact- that's
no,
exact-
you level yellow. It's fine.
just not a lot of good yellow cards.
Not a lot of good yellow cards. We can play
The Ricky.
play the Ricky. We can play
Hakuro.
Hakuro.
Yep. Which we're in the midst of getting rid of.
Yeah, but like if we change the one combo, then we can think about this differently. No.
There's not a lot of good yellow zeros. That's why, like,
I mean, we have Impulse 4. We're gonna have more stock. We're gonna have more stock now. than we
no,
did
you need the
previously.
more stock. You can't just throw it.
Okay. Well,
That would be the whole point and purpose of doing it.
okay. So we're not gonna play it. That's fine.
There's 3 rules. There's
We could play 3 rules.
there's whatever that card does, and I can't remember, but I've seen it played a lot.
It's pay to refresh,
There you go. Sure.
which we don't need. So probably not. What is this one?
It's a bunch of junk.
Mill 2 if there's a climax, discard to salvage. Just a bunch of junk.
Yeah, the yellow zeros are just kind of meh.
Impulse 3 or check 3 for an event, discard.
Yeah, which only works. Oh, there's the
Search brainstorm.
TD. Isn't
TD Rimuru,
TD
yeah.
Rimuru?
Yeah.
It's yellow.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Console, discard climax to salvage. Good
It's
card.
fine. Yeah.
Great card, yeah.
You could get there,
You could get there. Yeah. Good. Good.
but yeah, you gotta play Hakuro times 4.
You don't have to play Hakuro times 4. Play like TD Rimuru, grappling hook,
We're gonna need like
Ricky.
yeah. You need quite a few yellow cards to get there.
You could play 3 rules.
Sure.
I don't hate 3 rules.
I'm surprised you're not playing it now, given the fact that you have a pretty unselective combo and you have a very specific...
Slots, man! Slots! The deck slots, man! I don't have deck slots! And my back row has to be potions, man. Let's be
Okay,
real. Let's be
alright,
real.
alright.
Back row has to be potions.
All right.
Back row has to be potions. Wow, man, there's really not that many other
No, they
yellow
suck.
zeros,
The yellow
yeah.
zeros suck. This is why they were basically, you saw the same yellow zeros on this deck for the entire time that it existed.
Yeah,
Like
these
there
are
were some
not-
people who flirted with camera, and so they could play some other cards to like facilitate that. But like outside of that, man, no, these zeros stink.
Yep, they sure do. Okay, well, unlucky.
I think we've rambled enough.
All right. I might. I'm thinking about it. Diablo Shizu. No plussing climax triggers.
You just every time you trigger climax, you want to kill yourself, but it's fine.
Ugh. Yeah, it's fine, bro. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Why wouldn't it be fine? It's fine. Everything's fine. All of it's fine. It's all fine. Maybe I'll just play the cannon, or the what's that effect called where like it dies and then you bounce back a guy?
Oh yeah, Canon. Yeah.
Cannon. Yeah, because we have it and it gives like 1/5. Yeah. So like it kind of synergizes with the on reverse combos that we're running here.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Mill 'em easier though. Mill 'em easier. We can. Well, what we're really gonna do is continue playing Mill.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So great times.
Yep.
And
I
so
love slime.
that's it. That's our show for today. The timer on the recording says 100 minutes, which is going to be increased by about 11 minutes whenever I put in that full audio of me just shouting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we could trim off the last 3 minutes and not lose anything.
But we're gonna leave it in for the content. Smile. That's gonna be our show for today. So tune in next time after your next deck out, and don't you forget to take the refresh point.